Um, anyway, so I woke up at 4:30, and some of that is happening these days where I'm generally getting to sleep earlier, but and then I'll wake up at these random times. But okay, so up at 4:30 and thinking, yeah, I'd rather not be up this early. I'm cool getting up earlier these days, but not this early. Anyway, I slept around 11 and thought, okay, this is possible. So I'm just kind of laying in bed, and then I hear there's the rooster outside, and this is like 4:35, 4:40, and then I heard what sounded like a big shock, like as if there was like a almost like something that was on some big electrical cable, and I saw a flash. I saw a flash on my wall, and um, anyway, there was a pretty big delay. There was like this smack and flash smack, and then I heard the squabble of whatever it was, chicken, rooster. Pretty sure it was just a rooster, and then like 30 seconds later, I experienced the same little scenario. So I actually literally again saw the flash on my wall, and then heard, but there was like this long delay. So I was thinking, I don't know like, what could this possibly be? And I mean, I knew there was some possibility that it was like a tiny little gun. It just seems weird that the sound came so much later. It was like flash and then smack. So I feel like that's possible that that was a little gun, and it's not. It's probably not possible that it was. Anyway, it's hilarious that if, like, what an idea. You're living in the city. You've got roosters around, chickens around, and they're very disruptive. Like what in the world, you guys? Go to bed, you little disruptors. Anyway, what a great way of handling the problem. Actually, I think my dad at some point had a little airsoft gun for squirrels. I'm pretty sure is what it was. So he wasn't trying to kill him, but he was trying to scare him off of the bird feeders. It was that kind of thing. anyway, anyway, if you're dispatching roosters at 4:45 in the morning, I'm sure you wish you were doing something else. That was just really funny. Thankfully, I fell asleep again. Woke up at like 6:20, and I literally woke up. Almost the first thing I thought was, "Oh, I can actually fit in a stream. That's cool," without being like super super tired for my first day at school. So yeah, so I'm subbing at Mauna Lua today. And not only that, and the thing is, it's going to be a longish day because I'll finish subbing hopefully around 3, maybe slightly before 3, and then I'm gonna stop into Costco, get a couple of things for tonight, and then we're having our 3-year anniversary tonight. No idea how many people are gonna come. I broadcasted it pretty well. I mean, mostly I'm just targeting the regulars, and that's the thing. Like, it's been really really cool. As I was thinking about it this morning in the shower, how really impressive it is that there are people. So yes, we've been doing this 3 years, and I'd say by about year 2, hmm, well, no, it would have been 3. So like partway into um, our first full year, that's when we started doing the retreats. So we were doing, starting to meet people, getting really excited in year 1, and I was already kind of playing some more games, going to a couple game stores. I think this is, COVID has sort of run its course. People are getting more comfortable getting back together. So we're doing game nights at churches and stuff. Or at a church, we had a weekly game night. And then in August of 2022, that's when we started our game nights at the conference office. And I don't even remember those early conversations, but it was just an underutilized space, really comfortable, easy to set up, and they had, everything we need was right there. Really simple, little kitchen. Can't cook anything, but they got a little microwave there, and they've got a refrigerator, freezer situation. Oh, that reminds me, I can make smoothies tonight. I forgot, like, we used to do smoothies every week. So it was just kind of a healthy option for people and have a snack, have a smoothie. Anyway, so yeah, we started in August, and then our first retreat was actually the next April. So, um, is that possible? Wait, wait. So we're on retreat 6. So 5 was this April, 4 was October 2024, 3 was April 2024, 2023, and yeah, so I guess it was actually, yeah, so our first one was April 2023. That makes sense. Um, so it was August 2022, and yeah, so we've had, so since that first, I was getting plugged in. I was going to more, you know, um, more public or like bigger game nights and meeting cool people. And so I guess only a few months in, I think, is when um, I had the idea. I was talking with some people about doing a retreat. But anyway, that was around that time. It was my first time um, volunteering for one of the cons, and so I was meeting people who were starting to think about these retreats, and we had run a couple other events. I remember I had some friends go up to Waianae and teach some games, that kind of thing. And for some reason, it feels now like this is like it all happened pretty quick. That I got to know some of the community people better. Anyway, like there are people who come to mind who have been coming for basically 2.5 years, and it's literally almost every week for 2.5 years. And this just blows my mind. This is the thing I was thinking about in the shower, is the fact that there are these people in my life and in our community who are that consistent. It's incredible. Like they've been coming. Maybe there is a possibility that some of them have been coming. What's going on here? This must not be it. There's a possibility that some of them, this would be like 1 or 2 people, have been to more Monday nights than I have. And the reason that's possible is, occasionally I'm off traveling and I might miss. Oh, it must be this one. And I might miss like 2 or 3 game nights. But anyway, it's very rare that I miss game nights. But there's a very real possibility that Tyler, and this is since they've been coming. So I guess in that case I would have been to more, just because I was there at the start. But you could probably take a year's worth of Mondays and check who's been there the most, and it might not be me, actually, because I'll leave for holidays or something like that. I'll be gone a little bit in the summer. Now I'm doing China, and so these people are so consistent. They're such cool people. I love hanging out with them, and chatting with them and getting to know them. And anyway, but I also just really appreciate on the most basic level of like planning events, of organizing things, that you have people with this kind of consistency. For me, it blows my mind that we have people, who show up, who help out, and it's really encouraging to me. So anyway, just wanted to highlight those people tonight, as we go into our 4th year of Mondays. It's just such cool people that are so consistent. Yeah, it's been really, really, really cool. You know what? I want to clean this up really quick. Okay, so I want to do a couple things here to actually be productive. I guess I listed 3 things. No, this one's old. I want to do 3 things here, and those are to look at what I got from Sharon from ADRA. And there might be some like more kind of like sensitive information on these. I actually haven't looked at them at all. So I may just glance at them. I guess you can't really read much of what I've got here, perhaps. Or actually, I'll move it into another window for now and open them and just see kind of what they're about. Oh, you know what I can do? You know what I can do, actually? I'm just going to move these into Gemini, use them as models, and then have Gemini restructure what we've been working on. Wait, did I just download that? Restructure, reorganize what we've been building. So this should be pretty efficient. I mean, I'll basically learn what she's been up to in these documents by doing that, right? Anyway, just appreciate this sort of experience and that she's willing to lend it to me. Yeah, like that's not for everybody here. So just being aware that there might be like some blanks. Okay. So now I'm going to open a Gemini chat. Let me see. Are you aware of the other conversation we've been having about a proposal for ADRA? I think usually it is. Great, love it. Okay, so I'm going to take the text from these things. I have a few, I should say, successful proposal documents I'm going to share with you. These are from the person I'm in contact with. She was kind enough to send me over some samples. Here's the first. Okay, so I'm literally just going to copy this. Oh, you know what? I can just drop the files in. What am I doing? Here are 4. Here are 5 files that I want to use to restructure and reformulate my proposal. Okay, so we'll just drop in these files, and that should be fine. Okay, we'll just do this. Okay. Okay, I don't think I can do a full hour today, but I'll see if I can get close. Yeah, I'm curious. I don't know why. I really wonder why the bitrate was so slow yesterday, like the speed. Because it's great right now. I've dropped a few frames, but not many. And I have no idea why. Cool. So let's take... Okay, so seize the documents. So yes, let's analyze the documents, but also go ahead and create a proposal. Let's say begin working on documents, but including my details. Yeah, let me know what more information you need from me. Okay. So this should be pretty straightforward thing. So it's cool because look at how this is just amazing. Like it's so insane. So I really like Gemini. Grok does it too. I'm not sure if ChatGPT does, but I love this. In the case of Gemini, it's called a canvas. I forget what it's called in Grok, but so it's analyzing on the left over here. It's kind of thinking through. It's noticing some patterns, describing those patterns, and then it will just it reorganized okay, so I guess it's Nicholas. What was his name? Nicholas and T-Mobile, maybe that will help us. It looks like it's this one. Yeah, okay. Let me just read a little more. Because I thought, okay, yeah, it's definitely this guy. Oh, product manager. Okay, so he's more of a marketer. Senior director of marketing and public relations. Definitely this guy, Nick. So we'll add his name. You know what? Maybe am I proposing this to Sharon? Why is it doing that? Or am I proposing this to... What is happening? Okay. Okay, and then the address and stuff like that. ADRA contact info. Oh wait, that's the one we wanted was done. Let's try this. We can get some contact info. I'll come. I mean, this is not that important. This part, I can easily come back and do this. So, a preamble. Integration of gaming, tabletop gaming experience. I don't like gamified. Tabletop game experiences. Strategic integration of tabletop games. Let's just go this way. Explore innovative, explore revenue streams. No, this is not digital. This project aims to broaden ADRA's reach, foster a deeper understanding of humanitarian work, and provide accessible avenues for engagement and support. Okay, I like that. Project description. Let's go with ADRA HQ. ADRA HQ. Okay, so I'll add a few. Let me see if Gemini can just handle some changes here. Okay, a few corrections, a few general corrections. We are making a board game, a card game. We're calling ADRA HQ. There is some potential of designing more games in the future. We're making a card game, not a digital or hybrid game. We're calling it, okay. Let's see if they just fix some stuff. Okay. Okay, market, fundraise, promote. Okay, proposed deliverables. This is where Sharon's proposal came in clutch here, whatever that means. I'm gonna run out. I'll be right back. I'm gonna grab my coffee. Okay. I really enjoyed this mug. And I think one... Oh, I keep forgetting my water bottle at Kailua Church. I know I left it there, and I just keep forgetting it. Anyway, I've been enjoying this mug, but what it's forcing me to do is drink coffee coffee that's not iced coffee. So it could be hot coffee, it could be tepid coffee. But the main thing is there's not the headroom doesn't exist for ice. So usually what I do is I have a big jar, or I had my big water bottle and fill with ice and then drop the coffee in there. Anyway, this is great. Okay. So proposed deliverables. And I'm almost done. I'm just going to kind of cruise through this. Yep. Initial paper prototype proof of concept for core mechanics. Initial round of internal playtesting and feedback integration. Not bad. Development of all in-game content. Production of card illustrations and other physical game. Okay, rules, writing, and documentation, ensuring clarity and accessibility for non-gamers. This is like pretty good, I think. Development and playtesting. Refinement of all card game components and specifications for manufacturing. Extensive external playtesting with target audience, youth, and non-gamers, and iterative design adjustments based on feedback. Final graphic design and layout for all game components, including card backs. I think this should be oversight. A tweak. I think we'll be using an illustrator internal to ADRA. So the deliverable would be oversight of the illustration, or at least art direction, right? So, man, like, it's so efficient. It's so it's just unbelievable. Like, even if I shouldn't just wholesale okay. Yeah. Finalized game files. Ready for manufacturing. Comprehensive documentation for future updates, expansions, or reprints. Don't know what that means. Liaison support for initial manufacturing quotes or conversations. If desired, hand over all print-ready files. So project time frame. This is interesting. I would expect like a 6-month commitment. I would think a 6-month commitment would be fine. And the reason I think so is that I'll figure like, well, actually, it should be less than 6. But I think playtesting, I think we really want to spend a good amount of time playtesting. Also, they said that it wouldn't be until about 2026 that they could really run the project anyway. So we have time, yeah, some time to work with. Okay, I'm at 30 minutes. I think I have about 20 minutes left. So this is pretty cool. Intellectual property and ownership. Oh, nice. And so Gemini even includes this stuff, like what it needs from me. It's just wild. So I know it's a little bit sad. I'm sure there's somebody watching who thinks, "Wow, that's cool, but that's scary," or "That's cheating." I don't think so. I don't think it's cheating, but it is different. It's definitely, it's a process that is very much accelerated by these powerful tools. I don't know what I sounded like just then. Powerful tools, and I think the temptation is to leave language completely unchanged, but from what I read, like, this is pretty good. So anyway, that's incredible. Okay, I'll come back and finish that later. let me get to South Shore vibes. I was vibing yesterday. I was having a good time. Also, I realized when I had the stream or when I updated the details of the stream, it wasn't 8:09 yesterday. It was 8:10 yesterday. Anyway, it might have felt like a time warp. But this is where I could use your help. If you actually jump in, and you're enjoying these streams as random as they are, and you catch little stuff like that, it'd be helpful to get your feedback. Okay, so where I left off was what I think will be an improvement here with catching fish. And I like it a lot. I think this is a big deal that this occurred to me, to make each fish slightly different. So there might be some kind of, you might be overwhelmed a little bit. And so maybe some layout would help. So like these two fish, they should be, they can kind of be together down here. And then I can kind of move these, do the big boy up at the top and the 3 dice fish in here. So we can kind of set them up like this maybe. Right. I don't know, an odd number of something would be nice, but I'll leave that alone. Was I thinking there was some value difference? I think what's hard, like I don't have, what I haven't developed for this game, I know it's actually probably possible to do this, but what I haven't done is assigned I haven't identified like an anchoring value. And what I mean by that is, let's take for example in Lost Ruins of Arnak. There's a clear conversion rate. So you can see that the ruby is like the standard value. The ruby. So there's like the tablets, the arrow, and the ruby. And it's clear that the game considers 2 tablets equal to 1 arrow. But then 1 arrow gets converted to 1 ruby. But the ruby, it's clear that when you are advancing on tracks in Arnak, that it's something like 2 tablets and 1 arrow equals 1 ruby, or it's close in value. It's close. So at the very start, I think the bottom step of the research track, I think those might be your options, or it might be an arrow and a tablet. But the point is, it's some combination of arrows and tablets that equals the value of a ruby. That's kind of how they set it up. So it could be like, it could be that if ruby equals 1, then the arrow might equal like 0.75. The tablets might equal 0.25, for instance. So the math doesn't always work out exactly, but maybe that's kind of generally how they evaluate those components. And then you have gold and compasses, and somehow those could also be converted to rubies. There's some percentage of a ruby. So that's what I'm talking about. So if ruby is they calculate everything. Let's say that they want the research track to sort of have generally similar values to advance up each branch of it. Then they can just use this conversion to come up with pretty like comparable steps to advance. So in this step, I'm using a tablet, I'm using a compass, a tablet, and arrowhead. In this step, I'm using a ruby and a gold. So those are somehow in general comparable, especially if you You know, you can decide to focus on getting rubies, or you can decide to focus on getting tablets, and so you might go up. You might follow certain paths because of what you because of what type of component you focused on. The point is, they make it generally harder to get rubies. So rubies are the most valuable thing. The point there is to say I haven't established that for myself. In other words, I have victory points, right? So does Lost Ruins of Arnak. But then they have these like other components as as currency. And those components, it's something like a coin and a compass are $1 bills. Tablets are $5 bills. Arrowheads are $10 bills, and rubies are $20 bills. So I don't have that for these other types of currencies. So I have money, right? But money doesn't necessarily convert to points. But maybe I should still count everything as money or everything as shakas. You know what I could do actually is it's possible. It could be possible for me to calculate everything in terms of dice. But no, I don't think so. That was a quick thought, and I think it's probably a bad thought. Anyway, I do like the direction that I know that I wanted to update this upgrade so that it is attractive early on in the game, because you only get to use it twice. So now, what I needed to do was adjust values depending on how much money you could earn. What if you could earn enough for 2 upgrades on 1 round? Because here's the deal. You can earn these upgrades and apply them that round. So I almost think that's why there's no upgrade that gets you more money. There was at one point, there was like a fishing upgrade. But so you technically could. No, you can't. No, you could. By getting these 2 fish, you could actually get this upgrade. So you could technically fish first and then go to the parking lot and surf skate. So this is actually possible now. Should I have 1? Should I have a 1 die fish? That doesn't feel right, does it? Interesting, because yeah, maybe I just have a 1 die fish. Huh. Because what that allows is this is what I wanted to do. I wanted an ore here. Did I ever have an ore before? I did on an old iteration. I can't imagine it's existent now. Maybe. Interesting. Yeah, because it was at the Poke shop. Yeah, you can see that this thing is overwhelmed. Like there's just way too many. Oh yeah, here. Yeah, look at how long it's taking to load. Let me kill that page before things get nuts. Don't need this anymore. So this is an OR. Okay. So I wanted an OR there. Or and it looks like this is something I'd have to clarify, but that's cool. No problem. Need to get rid of all this stuff. So how many shakas here? Because it's already good money. Maybe 3? So here's what I think I don't. So it's when somebody it's if somebody analyzes this and they realize that it's always okay. Yeah, that's the big question is how do you make things attractive so that there's not always an obvious answer to what to do and so that they have to be thinking about their current situation and saying, okay, because I didn't roll well for this thing, I need to get a fish that's at least I'm gonna go for a 1 money fish, like a money fish like this, and get a shaka. Might as well get 1 shaka too, because I only need 5 money, so I'll go here, and at least this gets me a shaka. But then they realized they didn't roll perfectly for it. So okay, so I'm not gonna get the shaka this time, but I'll go for this 4. Okay, so I could have a 1 money fish. I could do it. And I think I'm gonna try for it. So let's get rid of this. And I thought of actually making it a 1. It should be a 1, right? So I'll group these again. And this is not oh, okay. Shrink this fish, make it seem like it's a different fish when it's not. It doesn't matter at all. Okay. Are we losing it again? Okay, we're dropping some frames, but it looks like it's fluctuating, and I'm not sure why. But anyway, so this is a little 1. This is a 1 money guy right here. So at least what's going on is, maybe I should do something like this. Okay. Okay, just like this probably. So I kind of show that there's a hierarchy here, right? And anyway, so at least the point of doing this is you could get 2 small fish. So this would be 4 and 2. So it's literally the same. So maybe that's not great. So maybe this should be 4 and 3. So do you need, if this is 4 and 3, as an example, then maybe this should be 6. Why is this not bold? Okay. And I think the idea here is that you could go for shakas, and maybe this should be a 4 now. Okay, I'm gonna wrap up in a couple of minutes. I didn't take time to look for a publisher. I'll probably do that today at school for a little while. I think what I wanted is for the player to at least have the chance to ungroup and center this. At least have the opportunity to use all of their dice. So it's not like, well, the biggest fish is a 4, so no matter what, you're going to be stuck wasting 1 die. I didn't really want it to be like that. Anyway, I just prefer the way of breaking things up a little bit. You know what? I could have. Oh. I could make a little shaka. I could make a little shaka fish as well, right? Ugh. I could. Now what happens if they go for this? Then they get 4 and 1. So that's good. So it's not as good as what they would get up here. They get 5 and 1 over here, 5 and 1, like this, or 4 and 2. So it's not quite as good as a 4. This is the point. Like so there's a little starting point here, right? If the baseline is, I don't think you want to be able to combine fish so that it's better than a single higher order fish. I don't think you want to be able to do that. So like this is 3 and 2. These two together are 3 and 2. Oh, no, just 3 and 1. So that'd be sad just to get just these 2 small fish. But anyway, I'm liking this. So it's possible. The question is, would you ever be in the situation where you would not just go for the 7 money right away? Right? Could you be in a stamina situation where you need stamina? What I like is this is also slightly thematic, where you have a fish that's like a lot of work. It's like this big fish, and it's gonna take energy to get it. Anyway, I like this a lot. So this has been fun to kind of tweak and mess with. I think the parking the parking lot is another issue that I'll look at a later time. Anyway, I think that's it for me for today. I've got to get a couple more things together for school. So anyway, thanks for joining, and I'll see you soon.